Crude oil is basically useless. You can't pour it into your car, you can't use it directly. So how does this thick black liquid turn into petrol, diesel, and even jet fuel? The process is way more complex than you think. Every time you fill your tank, you're using something that started deep underground, millions of years ago. Crude oil forms from ancient plants and organisms, compressed under extreme heat and pressure. But when it's extracted, it's not clean. It's a messy mixture of different substances. And that's where refining begins. The first step is simple: heat. Crude oil is pumped into a giant furnace. It's heated to very high temperatures until it turns into vapor. Now, instead of a thick liquid, it becomes a mixture of gases. And this is where the real separation begins. The vapor enters a tall structure called a distillation column. Inside this tower, temperature changes from bottom to top. Very hot at the bottom, much cooler at the top. As the vapor rises, different parts of the oil start cooling down. And when they cool, they condense back into liquid. But here's the key idea: each substance condenses at a different temperature. So inside the tower, everything separates into layers. At the bottom, heavy substances like bitumen. In the middle, diesel kerosene, used as jet fuel. Higher up, petrol. At the very top, gases like LPG. One raw liquid becomes multiple useful products. So crude oil isn't just one thing. It's a mix of many different fuels and materials. Refining is simply about separating them efficiently. But here's the problem. There's more heavy oil than we actually need, and much higher demand for lighter fuels like petrol. So refineries do something clever. They break large molecules into smaller ones. This process is called cracking. Using heat, pressure, and special catalysts, big hydrocarbon chains are split apart, turning heavy oil into lighter, more valuable fuels. Now, the fuel is separated and converted, but it's still not ready. It contains impurities, things like sulfur and unwanted chemicals. So the next step is purification. The fuel is treated to remove these impurities. This makes it cleaner to burn, less harmful, more efficient. Here's something surprising. Fuel isn't just one pure substance. It's a carefully designed mixture. Different components are blended together to achieve specific properties. For example, petrol is blended to improve engine performance, increase efficiency, reduce emissions. So what you get at the pump is actually engineered fuel. So the fuel you use every day is not just refined oil. It's a highly processed, engineered product. Now here's where it gets interesting. The first oil refinery was built in the 1800s. But back then, people weren't interested in petrol. They wanted kerosene for lamps and lighting. Petrol was actually considered useless. In fact, it was often thrown away. Then everything changed. Cars were invented. And suddenly, petrol became the most valuable product. Refineries had to adapt quickly. New techniques were developed. More efficient systems were created. And the industry transformed completely. Today's refineries are incredibly advanced. They process thousands of barrels every single day, using precise temperature control, advanced chemical processes, complex engineering systems. Everything is optimized to get the maximum value out of crude oil. So next time you fill your tank, remember, you're not just using oil. You're using something that's been heated, separated, broken apart, cleaned, and carefully blended, all from one raw material. That thick black liquid from deep underground goes through an incredible transformation. And now the real question is, what other everyday things are this complex without us even realizing it?